that it's running well and I don't need to be there anymore. I do sugar hair removal.
And you're also a Women Talk director.
Oh, and I am a Women Talk director. That's true too.
Zara.
So I'm from Vancouver, BC. I always tend to think Edmonton time is BC time. And I just, since I've known Bridget and I went to Edmonton to talk, I'm just so fascinated about the stories and how Bridget helps people bring out stories. So I'm so happy to be here.
Very cool. Zara was very dedicated. She actually flew from Vancouver to Edmonton to share a story at Women Talk.
Wow. Which wasn't good when I look at how you teach stories.
Hey, but we all have to start, right? That's the hardest step, is that first time. Linda.
Hi, I'm Linda. I live in Calgary. I'm in Riverbend. And I volunteer for the Calgary Neuropathy Association. Neuropathy is nerve damage, usually resulting in disability and chronic pain. And I meet people a lot through that work who have sometimes very sad stories, but there's also some very good stuff to tell. And I've done a little bit of it, but I could do a lot better.
Nice. Welcome.
Thank you.
Jolene.
Jolene,
sorry.
Yeah, it's all good. Hi, I'm Jolene Hopkins. I'm also known as AJ Levitt. I'm currently divorced, or not divorced, separated. I'm unemployed, lost my job to COVID. So I'm reaching out and doing everything I can to possibly build up my own life and follow my dreams. And in this process, I'm really just getting to know me, and it's pretty fantastic. I kind of like me. I'm okay with me.
Nice.
Awesome. Yay.
I live in Bridgeland. So yeah.
Very cool.
So far, that's where we begin.
Very nice.
The rest of the first day, second day, third day, probably the rest of my life. So it's awesome.
Nice. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Joanne Newaduck.
Hello. So I'm Joanne. I know about half of you ladies on, and probably send Facebook requests to the rest of you before the night's done. I live in Calgary, Alberta, originally from the East. I'm actually kind of at my core training an oncology nurse. So Linda, I know a lot about neuropathies. In my private wellness practice, I actually work with light therapy that can reverse and support neuropathy. It's one of the reasons I got into it, because it's really important. But the main thing that I'm doing right now is for the last 5 years, I've been running an organization called Fabulous at 50 within Calgary. I had that, like the Calgary director, and for not good reasons, but also, you know, a positive thing for me at this point is I'm stepping into taking the reins of running it on nationwide. And so, and I'm bringing my health practice. Thank you. Thank you. So it's similar. There's some parallels to Women Talk, the way it's set up, but it's very different as to what we're offering. So that's why we love to dovetail together. We cross support each other all the time. And that's what I'm about, basically celebrating and supporting women. Our tagline now is celebrating a vibrant global community of women over 50, helping women meet their dreams. And then my private health practice, I'm bringing under the auspice of Fabulous at 50 as well. So it'll be fabuloushealth.ca. So what I'm doing here for tonight, of course, is I've told parts of my story at different times and I've spoken, but I love the work that you do, Bridget. And I want to, now that I know all my focus is going to be more in Fab at 50 with just different facets. So I want to refine what story resonates with women, what story helps really share what I'm doing. You know, like I resonate with Jolene's because that's where I was 10 years ago going, oh my God, the rug's just been pulled out of me and I got to recreate myself. So I get that. Anyway, I'm thrilled to be here tonight. Thank you.
Nice seeing you. Hold on a second. Thank you everyone for introducing. I just need somebody. You know, with email, there's always something going, somebody doesn't get the link properly.
No problem. If I have my video off, it's only because I haven't finished my dinner and I don't like eating in front of people. So I am here listening.
Wonderful. Now oh, there we go. There's the invite, copy link. And give me 2 seconds just because I like to help people as much as I can.
I will say too, I'm on call for Covenant Health. If I disappear all of a sudden, it's because of that too.
Okay. No problem. And if you end up missing a lot of tonight, I'll be doing this workshop again and quite often because I don't want to do it with large groups. So I'll be doing a bunch of little ones. So I will let you attend another one if it's not sold out for free if you miss any parts of it.
No, thank you. That's so kind.
Okay, so we are just waiting for one more lady to get here, but while we wait, most of you know me, I think. I'm Bridget Lessardiel, and I am the founder of Women Talk. I have spoken. We had 13 locations across Canada before COVID happened, and now we have the location still, but nothing is going on. I am just going to do a quick stop here so that I can say hello to Susan. I think she's just still loading. Can you hear us, Susan?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. We just can't see you. Is that on purpose?
No.
You just need to turn your camera on.
Yeah, it's not connecting.
Okay.
Hang on. Okay,
Once
it should be
you
working now.
Oh, there you go. Hello. So tell us your name, where you're from, and one sentence.
One sentence.
One sentence about
Yourself or
Okay.
whatever you want.
Okay. See, I got some more words in there because it wasn't clear. So Susan Binney, I'm from just outside of Edmonton. I'm actually halfway between St. Albert and Spruce Grove on an acreage. I have 4 children, 4 grandchildren. I empower women to dig deep and pull their story out. Probably very different than what Bridget does. I'm so glad to be here, and I just love this woman to death, and that's why I'm here, and I'm sure I'll meet all of you and get to talk to all of you. So there we go.
Boom. Thank you. Well, I'm very happy you're here. And you know what? Like, I'm very of the mentality that I don't compete with people. Like, I do my own thing and I help everyone. Joanne and I were just talking that we support each other all the time. She owns Fabulous at 50 now. And, you know, because I appeal to certain people, other coaches would appeal to other people, and we all help each other and we attend each other's stuff and learn. So it's fantastic. That's how I like to live my life. So thank you for being here, Susan. Okay. So I was just about to say a little bit about myself. So Women Talk has 13 locations across Canada. None of them are running right now. We do have one weekly event online. That's Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. The tickets are $5. And actually for those, Roseanne and Zara, you're actually Women Talk members. Starting this week, you guys are free to attend. We decided to have our members attend for free. Obviously I just, because of Women Talk not happening, I started, it's kind of kicked me through the door of coaching. I've been doing a lot of coaching for a long time, but not officially. So now I am officially coaching, and my business is The Story Warrior. And then I also have an e-commerce business, which also supports women, sportsbras.ca. So that's about it for me. And I'm also a mom and married and all that good stuff, but that's a whole other story. So let's get right into it. Now, if you have not got your workbook, it is in the comments. In the chat is the link to your workbook. So it'll just help you, or you can use it after the fact tonight. You can just use a piece of paper and that will work as well. So how I would like the rest of the class to go is we are going to go through a couple of questions. We're going to go through a series of questions where we answer, and I'm going to give you a few minutes to fill out your answers, and then I want you to share it with the group. Now, you don't have to share the ones that you think are too personal. That's fine. You get to decide what you share, but it is really important that you do share with the group, because I know even for myself, I've done this class now a few times, and every time somebody will say something and it will trigger me to remember something, because we all have so many stories, and often we don't even realize that they're stories. I'm just going to look here. You don't have the chat, Susan? Because it's in the group chat in the, like if you look where you just posted.
It's because I joined after you put the link in.
Oh,
so
I didn't know
have
that.
access to anything prior to me joining.
Okay, thank you. I didn't know that, you know, I didn't know that Zoom did that. Very
Live
interesting.
and learn. I found out yesterday.
Well, I found out today. Thank you. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about, and we're just going to go over this very briefly because I look at stories a little bit differently. So at Women Talk, often it is women that have gone, not always, we have all types of stories, but often is women go through something really difficult in life, and they come and share that story and how they came out victorious, and what happens to them now. How do they live their life because of their stories? So storytelling, I just gotta move this around a bit. So it's about like the kind of storytelling that I coach anyway are true stories. It's something that as you have experienced, and it has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Now, often when I say it's something you have experienced, sometimes you're in the company of somebody who's going through, let's say, cancer, for example. Well, that person has a story, but you, as standing on the side, you also have a very, very important story. So that's why often people go, oh, nothing bad has ever happened to me, and it doesn't need to be bad. I mean, like, I hear that all the time. I don't really have stories. And I'm like, oh my God, like seriously? We all have so many stories. So stories are usually viewed as having a beginning, a middle, and an end. Remember the princess who kiss a frog and it becomes a prince, they get married and live forever and ever happily. Although that doesn't happen all that often. But how I view it, there's a description that I've come across that I love it so much more, and it's this one. This is a graphic that I designed for it, and there's the normal, where you really describe what your life was like right at that moment or before that moment, where everything just went boom with that particular story. Now, boom doesn't mean that it's necessarily bad or huge, or just like the core of the story is the boom, the explosion. So there's the normal, the explosion, and then the new normal. So that I like to describe stories in that way, because sometimes you look like, okay, so what has been some of the explosions in my life, positive or negative? And it also helps people describe it. Now, if you're going to use stories to grow your influence or grow your business or your social media presence, or wherever it is that you want to get a job, to do all sorts of things, there's also a couple of other components I like to add, and it's the hook. So this is like the first thing that comes out of your mouth that people will decide if they're going to listen to you or not, or zone out. So we call that the hook. And then of course there's your call to action. So once you become good at telling stories, and the only way you become better and comfortable is to do it over and over and over, and sometimes, not sometimes, often the same story. So you try different deliveries, different hooks, different call to action that you're comfortable with. And a call to action is not always about business, right? It could be, join me on Facebook, or, I have a freebie for you, or, you know, tell me what you've learned. Like, I mean, a call to action is many, many different things, but often is you want to ask for the business. And we are out of the information age. For decades now, our lives have been just so filled up with so much information that we just are overwhelmed with information. It does not attract us anymore. But stories is still something that people lean in. When you start telling a personal story, like, oh yeah, this happened to me. And here's the thing I'm going to share with you. I am getting such a list of stories now because I live in this. I listen to stories all the time. I listen to you guys sharing stories, and it triggers me to remember stories. And I do Toastmasters, and we do this table topics, it's called, and you get a line and boom, you got to talk about it right now. And stories just pop up usually about most topic. Like, I haven't been stumped yet, so I'm sure it's coming. But when you live in it, you just start remembering so many stories, and it's such a much nicer way to communicate. You can vomit information till the cows come home, but it will never have the effect that a story does. And before we get into the exercise, I'll give you a perfect example, sportsbras.ca. I mean, I can go on and on and on about, we have the best bras, we do this, we do that, you know, I mean, information, and people go, okay, yeah. But what I started doing years ago, and what got me actually into talking again, was I did a presentation on sports bras, and I did the history of sports bras, and I called it A Trip Down Memory Lane. And it was really good, right? And a funny thing happened. I started getting booked to go and tell the stories at the running room for their running clubs. Now, the running room was selling a lot of the same bras I was selling. So what would happen is I would go there, do the trip down memory lane. Everybody giggled, had a great time. But then they would say, we don't want to buy bras from these guys. We want to buy from you because you're the expert. So when you muster the courage of standing in front of people and share a story, it will automatically make you an expert in their eyes. You know, I mean, obviously it's like a big word, an expert, but you know what I mean? People view you expert as an authority in whatever it is that you're sharing. And it does not need to be a business story, even personal stories that attach to it. When you practice, you will learn that even the funny stories or the strange stories or the hard stories, to do that link for your call to action. So somehow attach it and turn it into your business or your call to action. And it's an art. You only get that from practicing. But today that's a little bit of like a big roundabout how I feel about stories and how I coach stories. Today we are here to discover our stories. So let's get right into it. So what I like to do is, there are a few questions that we can ask ourselves to unlock our stories that will trigger us to realize that something is a story and we didn't even know it. Because often when people tell me they don't have stories, it's because they're in it. They already know that. They're part of it, and they don't even realize it's a story that could really help other people because they don't have to go through whatever, or it's just entertaining or whatever. But so many women have told me they don't have a story, and I start talking with them. And sometimes it's mind blowing. I had a lady who was from Africa, Rwanda, and she was talking about how she makes the heel of one of her shoes shorter, and she does it herself because when she got it done professionally, she didn't like it. And then that was it. And then I just happened to ask her after she was finished speaking, why is your leg shorter? And she said, oh yeah, I got shot. And I'm like, what? And she didn't even think of telling us. And I'm just like, oh my God. So this is to show you how sometimes we just don't realize how big our stories are because we're in it. So today we're going to help each other by sharing our answers and helping each other discover our stories. So we're going to do 5 exercises. And then you should leave here with a whole pile of ideas. The stories will not be developed today, obviously. We're only here for an hour. But you will have a whole list of stuff that you will be able to write stories from. So the first questions we're going to do, the first exercise we're going to do is on a piece of paper, I want you to write a true statement and write as many as you possibly can until you run out. And then we're going to get everybody to share a few so that it can help we can help each other remember. So I'm going to give you 2 minutes to write down as many statements as you can to the question, to the line, I am. So at the beginning, it's going to be some obvious stuff. I'm a mom, I'm 55, I'm an entrepreneur, and I'm a mother, which would mean I'm a mom and a mother. That's how good I am. and then at the beginning it's boring, but then you're going to get deeper, and like your list should be at least like 20, 30, even longer. Like keep digging, and obviously not tonight. You keep working on that after if you want to really develop a nice series of stories. You know, but I'm learning to play the guitar again. I am obsessed with the show Feed Phil. I am a super Elvis fan, and yes, that's me on that picture at one of my conventions. I went on stage dressed up as Elvis because I can, and I'm crazy. And I am a story warrior. So we're going to take 2 minutes starting now. I just need to get my phone, and I'm just going to be quiet during that time and write as many I am as you can. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing. And question for you guys, would you like to have music when we do this? I'm not going to do it today, but do you like it silent, or would music silent?
Silence myself.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. Thank you for your feedback. We're going to welcome Ariana. Hello, Ariana. She was joining late, so thank you for being here. Actually, Ariana and Zara are in my coaching program, and Roseanne, and they've done this before, and I'm so stoked to see you guys here. That's super cool. Yay! Because you've done it before and you come back, and that makes me very happy. So thank you for that. So Roseanne, I'm gonna start with the the old pros here that have done it before. So it's going to help you trigger some ideas because they've already done some lists. So we've done this a couple of times together already. So it will be a little bit easier maybe for them. So I will start with them. Roseanne, give us like 5.
5? Okay. I'm a sower of many things. I'm a world traveler. I'm a grandmother, a lover of music and dancing, a hiker, a biker, bicycle, a wife of 40 years, a teacher of Reiki. I don't know, how many is that? That's more than 5, I think.
Thank you. When I thought you were going to stop at I'm a lover. I was like, right on, good.
I am that too. Yes, I am.
I was like, good for you, Roseanne. Add that to your list. I am a lover. Zara, would you like to share a few with us?
Yeah, for sure. I'm mom. I'm an entrepreneur. Okay, so, I'm strong. I'm committed. I like to give and receive support. I'm open to learning. I grow with every experience. I like to take a stand for others. I think it's more than 5. Should I stop? I'm learning to speak and I'm having lots of fun.
Thank you. Ariana, let's share some of yours. Now, don't go to the top, go to the bottom, like the weirds, the little more obscure, not weird, but obscure.
I got the weird ones. Okay, so I'm a rebel. I am cheeky. I am mischievous. I am a unicorn in disguise. I am a Babbage champion, and I am a kite flyer.
Ooh, kite flyer. See, I can add that to my list. I've done that too, and I'm planning to do it. Sherry.
Okay, it's funny, I had rebel on my list as well.
Nice.
I am a thrill seeker. I am creative. I am an environmentalist, clean eater. I am a survivor. I'm a mom. I'm just going to keep going until you stop me.
Okay, keep going. I'll stop you when it's too long.
I am an info vomiter.
That you are, and I love you for it. Very good. Linda. Oh, just unmute yourself.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
I'm a volunteer. I am a foster mom to a crazy cat. I am a business analyst, a caregiver to my dad, a gardener, a writer of blog posts, a video editor, a support person for seniors trying to learn how to use Zoom.
Oh, that is not easy sometimes.
No.
I did a family reunion when COVID started, and I had 70-year-old aunts that do not speak English trying to learn Zoom.
It takes a lot longer than you'd think.
Oh, totally. Jill.
Okay, found the right button. I am peaceful. I am scared. I am not always right. I am an editor. I am tired of dog pee. I am an expert at blocking emotions for a time. I am open to other perspectives. I'm a creator. I'm a lover of words.
Nice. Thank you. Joanne.
I am a daughter. I am a sister. I am a mother to 5 children, 3 boys and 2 girls. I am a wife going through a separation. I am a lesbian and a survivor of all things. I'm currently unemployed. I am starting over. I'm starting my whole life over at 54. I'm frightened for my future, but very enthusiastic and very hopeful that I am going, well, what can I say? The world is my oyster. So I am also a lover of music and get quite a lot of inspiration from music. I love talking and I love sharing stories. I didn't realize that that was normal and that was a good thing.
Nice.
I'm excited to start this adventure of mine.
Wonderful. Welcome to the world of stories.
I'm excited about it.
Susan.
I am computer challenged, clearly. I am a loving mother, a powerful storyteller, a patient human being, grandmother, child at heart, a kind, gentle, beautiful person. I'm a survivor of a blended family, and I'm a caregiver extraordinaire.
Nice. Joanne.
Hello. Okay, we'll go near the bottom. I am playful. I'm a gardener. I'm a leader. I'm a caregiver. No, not skip over, but in one sentence, I'm a therapist of light, sound, and thought. I'm a world traveler. I'm a kayaker. I'm a mother of 3 children of my own and 2 stepchildren. I'm a lover. I'm also an info, what is it? Info vomiter. I got to own that one. I added that in there. I'm a camper. I'm an oncology nurse. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm what else did I have in there? I was skipping around a bit. Those ones. Yeah.
That was a good list. That was good. So we got a lot.
I have more on there, but I'm just like, you know.
Yeah, and you should like I said, you should build, like, really look at this today, tomorrow, and keep the papers around, right? Like, so when it crosses your mind, or I decided I was going to start a list on my phone because I'm often somewhere where I don't have paper. So to just keep the list going. Now, when you go back, and you'll see in your workbook, there's a right column. So when you go back and look at all these I am, what are the stories about that?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I am a mom. That could have 1,000,001 stories, right? Like how my kids are so different, how I couldn't give birth, so my wife did. Like, I mean, the stories that can come out of that. You know, I'm a foodie, so I can get into all the food and I mean, you know, so with each of those points, try to see if there's any stories on them. Now, often they won't be like, the story won't seem that great, but try to trigger yourself. It's like, what's a story that goes with this I am? Because most of them will have some kind of a story, and you just leave it there, because one day when you're sharing a story or using it for your business, you're going to have that list, and you can go back and look at it, and actually that would fit in there. So right now it may not have that much meaning, but down the road, or if you're a Toastmasters and you're at table topics and you're asked a question, and the story will be there because you've actually written it down once. So it can become very helpful. By the way, at the end of your workbook, there is a sheet, and I am going to take the time to go over it. You are the first people to see it. Now, it's not printed properly, but it's a log. I'm going to do a story journal. So actually, I'll go see when you're doing the next exercise to bring it and share it. But this is to keep a log of all your stories and the topics that particular story would touch. And I am going to create an actual book out of this. I have not shared this with anyone, so you're the first people to see this. After the next exercise, I'll pull it up so we can talk about it, because you can start using it now, and then when my book comes out, you can buy it and use it to keep notes. Sweet. So the next question, and actually your feedback on how it works for you would be much appreciated, but we'll look at it after the next question. So now we're going to move on to the next question, and that is I was. So we're going to again take 2 minutes, and you're going to write as many statements as you can think of that goes with I was. So for me, I was a blonde kid. I was a hockey player. I was French and did not speak a word of English. I was dating guys, and I was a hairdresser. And I mean, the list can go on, right? So just write down your list of I was, and we have 2 minutes starting now. I've been talking for the past 5 minutes with my mic muted. Well, not 5 minutes, but a few seconds. Time is up. So we're going to go around the room again. Sorry about that. We're going to go around the room again, and we're going to have everybody share 5 and try to pick the one that maybe a little bit out of the ordinary. That the idea of us sharing is to help each other remember. So pick stuff that you think is kind of out of the ordinary that somebody may not have thought of. So Roseanne, we're going to start with you.
Okay. I was a student at an all-girls school, a convent. I was a cross-country runner. I was a shepherdess. I was a horse rider. And I was an abused child.
Shepherdess, what is like?
It's like, you know, I had 100 sheep. I had to make sure that I counted the sheep on the way out, counted the sheep on the way in.
Fascinating.
Yeah, I spent my summer. I got to tell the time by the sun. I learned how to do that when I was out on the horse.
See, there's a story right there about your sheep. And
Yes.
like, I mean, you can just extend on that and make it a really interesting story. Very cool.
It's like I have a few of those with the shepherding.
Thank you. Zara. And you're muted. So everybody can unmute themselves right now. So, and let me share, actually, there's a trick I just learned with Zoom that's super cool. When you're muted, use your space bar and it unmutes you.
But you have to hold it.
Yes, you do have to hold it. Zara.
So I didn't feel like I was one of the cool kids. I wanted to be a cool kid. I was bullied as a kid. I was insecure as a kid. I wanted to help others, but I think I wanted to help myself.
Is that all you have, Zara?
I have more. We said 5, so I
Oh,
stopped.
was that 5? I thought it was only a couple. Sorry about that. Thank you. Ariana.
I am a teeter-totter expert. I am a champion polynomial solver. I am a thief. I am a thumb thucker. Can you say that 10 times? And I am scared.
A thumb sucker. What was the? I love you. You're awesome. What was the other one?
The champion polynomial solver. Algebra.
What is that?
You solve for, you find the, I don't know how you explain it. But we used to
Mathematics.
Oh,
I couldn't do it. I wish I had you a few years ago.
that's so interesting. Cool. Sherry.
I was a farmer. I was a dropout. I was a competitive bodybuilder. I was promiscuous as a teen. I was a drug user. I was sexually abused. I think that's more than 5.
Wow, that's a big list. That's like a whole lot of stories coming out of that list. Linda.
Skydiver.
And a skydiver.
I was a beer drinker. Now I'm a wine drinker. I was a shy kid, a skinny kid, a clumsy kid. I was a beaver leader of a troop that had like 75 boys, and a playground builder.
Playground builder. Oh, I feel a good story in that one too. I'm just like, oh, I wish we had more time. We can hear all the stories that go with this. Jill.
I was a perfectionist. I was hoping for easier. I was looking to escape. I was constrained by guilt. I was not the cowgirl my dad wanted me to be. I was an owner of an exotic game bird farm.
Game bird farm.
Exotic what?
Game bird farm.
Okay.
Interesting. Oh, I'm dying of hearing all those stories. I'm such a story freak. I love people so much. Jolynn.
I was a tomboy. I was a frightened little girl. I was a shy person in Wallflower. I was a basketball player. I was sexually abused as a young girl. I was constrained with guilt and shame.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of stories there too. Susan.
I was scared to stand up in front of people. I was married 2 other times. I was downsized after 17 years of employment at the age of 49. I was bullied as a child. I was a carpet installer.
Carpet installer. Cool.
At the same time as being a sex addict.
That's funny. That's like lots of stories there too. Wow.
I was laying carpet one way or the other.
That's funny. That was really good. On that note, Joanne, it's your turn.
That's a really hard act to follow there.
I love it.
I'm looking at how many things were similar, right? Thank you. I forgot. I sucked my thumb as well. I remember being perfectionist, constrained, but I'll share extra. I was a girl guide. I was a camp leader for special needs. I was a photographer, and I was opinionated and cautious. I was broke. I was fearful. I was in an unhealthy marriage. I was a crafter, and as a young child, I was quite shy.
Very cool. So again, the exercise that we get from it, and I hope you got extra ideas, and pretty much everything you said here with the I was, there's a story attached to that, at least one. So on the right side of the I was, just write down like, when I was laying carpet and had sex at the same time. right? But like write down any of the stories that you, and it can be more than one for a lot of them. What are the stories that go along with the I was? And don't go too deep, like just kind of jot down. And when you have more time, then you go back and start, you can actually write the story that goes with that. This exercise obviously is not to go deep anywhere. We're simply scratching a really wide surface, shaking it up to see what falls out. So that was really, really good, you guys. I need to go back to my slideshow. Sorry about
That carpet installer story was just for you, Bridget. That will not be shared in public.
But why not, right? Like
Yeah, why
sometimes
not?
sometimes you think it may be something that's not something appropriate or whatever, but here's the thing. Actually, I'm gonna have to stop sharing while I say this. So the really cool thing about sharing stories, that is my absolute favorite, is when you share your story, you decide the meaning of it. Even as being a sex addict, you can share the story in a way that is empowering, because when you share it, you decide the meaning of it. So because I was a sex addict, now here's what I can do. And it's, if without that, I wouldn't be this. So that's the most amazing thing to me. Sexual abuse, heart attack, cancer, car accident, like the worst stories in the world you can think of can be turned into a positive, because when you share it, you pick the meaning of it. You decide what it means and what it will mean to people. That is the most amazing thing to me about sharing stories, that just, I always get all wound up. But then again, I get wound up easily. Okay, so the next exercise is super, super cool, you guys. Oh, am I sharing my screen? I don't think I am.
Not yet.
There we go. This one is super cool because let me tell you, I have done so many jobs in my life, and every time I've done this exercise, I will remember something that I've done. And with that also usually comes a lot of stories. So I want you to list absolutely everything you can think of, whether you were getting paid for it or not, you were a 5-year-old kid or last week, any job that you have done, write them down. And then again, we're going to share it. So we're going to do 2 minutes. And it can be anything. Like, for example, some of them, I was a French fry maker at A&W. I was a hairdresser. I was a realtor. I was acrylic nail artist. I was a cashier at a gas station. I owned a Curves gym. That's how I met Sherry. And I, as a kid, sold chocolate bar at a funeral home to reach my goal as fundraiser. So give you some example, right? Because then it brings out a lot of stories. So we have 2 minutes. List as many jobs as you can think of. Okay, time is up. Sorry. We're going to go around the room and list if you have 10, up to 10. You say them quickly, but the reason again is to trigger people to remember some of the jobs they've had in their lives. And since, I mean, this exercise would be a lot faster and shorter if we were 18, wouldn't it? By the time you get to be 55, there's been many, many jobs. I'm going to start again with Roseanne. I'm going to go across this time, so it'll be a bit different. But Roseanne, up to 10.
Okay. I was a kindling gatherer, a weed picker, a chamber pot emptier, a babysitter, a Woolworths cashier, dietary aide, dietary tech, girl guide leader, secretary, and cook at a hospital. That's 10.
Thank you. Jill. Oh, you're muted. So everybody can unmute themselves?
Yes, okay. I was a babysitter, a waitress, a hotel desk attendant, home hardware shelf stocker, hospital housekeeper, municipal government land titles clerk, hospital administrative assistant, critical incident stress management peer, victim services advocate, and an editor.
Nice. Sarah.
I was a babysitter, a senior care aide, sales associate, sales manager. I was in a networking business, a makeup artist, a writer, a workshop facilitator, a career coach, and a speaker.
Thank you. Linda.
I was a move packer, an ice cream scooper, a chocolate counter clerk, door-to-door sales, a short order cook, a mailroom clerk, a business analyst, a beaver leader, a troop leader, an event coordinator. I don't
Nice.
know how many that was, but
Thank you. What, like chocolate? And
it was Laura Secord. They had the ice cream and they had the chocolates.
That's crazy.
That was a bad for somebody with a sweet tooth. Holy cats.
Jolyn.
I was a babysitter. I was a campground receptionist. I was a cashier, chambermaid, a manager of inventory control, a buyer, a purchaser, asparagus sorter, inventory coordinator, and a cleaner.
Asparagus sorter. I like that.
The absolute best job in my entire life thus far.
That is fascinating. I love it. Ariana.
A speaker, a baker, a Camino coach, a pilgrimage leader, a babysitter, a gardener, a hair dyer, a software trainer, librarian, gardener, treasurer, rock picker, and computer consultant.
A hair dyer. Interesting. Sherry, you're muted. You're muted again.
It wasn't working. My space bar wasn't working. I was a retail store owner, a factory worker, Old Dutch potato chips, a waitress. I was an assistant to a U.S. diplomat at the U.S. Consul General. I was a waitress, a farmer, door-to-door salesperson at 15.
Nice. I still learn new things I didn't know about you. That's insane. Joanne.
Alrighty. I was a babysitter, a library helper. I don't know, the gal behind the cafe at Canadian Tire. We used to have the staff room. Camp leader, cocktail waitress, palliative care nurse, volunteer. I was event planner for fundraiser. I was president of the board, life coach, dance mom, trip chaperone, and student council rep.
Nice. Susan.
Carpet salesperson, fundraiser, event planner, motivational speaker, receptionist, bookkeeper, warehouse worker, manager, cashier, painter, arts and crafts teacher.
Very cool. So again, the same thing goes, right? With all those jobs, there's a story. So just start jotting down on the right-hand side of the job that you've had in the past. What are some of the stories that you remember about this? And I would leave this piece of paper out for a while because you are going to remember new jobs. I promise you, they will start popping out more and more and more. And then you remember stories that go with this as well. Okay, so the next exercise. Oh, I clicked the wrong thing. There we go. We're gonna do a quick one. Blank is a story of my life. So this is something that you, oh, I'm not sharing, am I? Sorry about that. There we go. Blank is a story of my life. So you fill out that statement, obviously, until you run out, like we did with the other ones. And don't get too hung up on getting fancy. We're not going to go around the room for this one, just for time's sake. But write as many as you can think of. Blank is the story of my life. So let's look at the examples that I wrote on here. Always telling stories is a story of my life. Always the loudest in the room is the story of my life, even on the ice, by the way, when I used to play hockey. Always blazing my own path and always going on another diet to lose weight that I put back on. So that's just to give you a few ideas on some of the things, like things that keep happening over and over in your life, like, oh, you know, chewing my fingernails is a story of my life. Getting a pimple on an important day is a story of my life. Like, try to think of little or really outrageous statements, because it kind of shows a window on something that could be really, really funny, really great story or intense stories. But usually, you know, the story of my life, well, maybe it's being broke all the time, you know? That's the story of my life. I'm always broke. So there's great stories that go with that. Okay. So the last question we are going to do is, and this one we are going to go through the list because it amuses me, is write down a list of 10 quirks about yourself. What's different about you? What most people don't do or wouldn't see in you, or like some quirks. Some of my example is I am extremely competitive. Oh my God, like I just can't help myself but compete when I do stuff. That's why I don't go on the ice anymore. I just cannot be competitive. I don't even let my children win at anything. I hate loud chewing noises. Drives me insane. And do not eat in my bed. Just saying. Just that's my one thing. I love wearing Crocs, which my wife detests, but I love them. They're so comfortable. I wish I was a race car driver. Like, I love speed so much, and I drink Diet Coke by the bucketful, which Sherry beats me up every time she sees me.
Yeah, I'm going to beat you up as well. It still raises your insulin, even if it doesn't raise your sugar level.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
probably
I
why
know
you're
I'm going to get a beating. I get it.
off and on. All these health coaches is going to jump right in there. We love you. We want you to live a long, healthy life.
Thank you. Okay, so write down your quirks, 10 of them, and we're going to share it because that's really fun. So I am going to give you a full 2 minutes for that one because they can have some nice, juicy stories. What's different about you? All right. We are done with this exercise and we are going to go around the room. Background here's for a reason. I am a storm freak. I am petrified of them and I am mesmerized by them. I want to go storm chasing. I just think it's like the most amazing thing. I've been in a couple tornadoes and they fascinate me. So it's very quirky about me because I'm petrified of them. I get really scared when I'm in it, but I would love to go chase them. Kind of weird, but that's me. Roseanne, let's hear your list of what you've come up with that you're a little bit quirky about.
I love to swear. Because I was never allowed to before, and I've only in the past few years been saying the F-bomb. I have a tattoo. I love to get up in the morning and watch the sunrise. I also love sunsets. I'm a mom of a dependent adult child. I love to learn about health and nutrition. There's a few other things, but that's enough for now.
Yeah, thank you. Jill, what do you have? What are your quirks?
Oh, I didn't make it to 10, but I've got
That's
some
okay.
pretty crazy quirks. I love other people's perspectives. Non-judgmental, I value hearing them. I can go emotionally numb, jump right in, be really involved in something. I'm really good at helping others in mental, psychological distress, but I am not good at helping myself when I am in the same situation. I struggle to have healthy boundaries for myself because I'll just jump in and help anywhere I can. Doesn't matter, I'll give all of me. I am, never admitted this in public. This isn't really public, but this is bigger than ever. I am a 3rd generation out of 4 generations who is afflicted with dermatillomania. I absolutely detest body lumps and bumps and blood injuries. Don't show me your pimple on your back, I'll puke. The clock in my office loses time when I am in there. It does not keep time properly when I am in there. Only me. Other people in my office, it's okay. And I drank coffee for the first time at age 46.
Ooh, I was 50.
Mm.
Thank you. That was awesome. Zara.
So failing and getting up is the story of my life. Overcoming my fears is the story of my life until I create the new ones. I don't feel confident, but I pull it off at the end. I don't even try to be perfect. I'm an open book. My family of origin makes me nervous. They don't know me at all. I avoid conflict and confrontations at any cost. I rescue those who are being treated unfairly.
Thank you. That was great. Linda, what's quirky about you?
I also hate loud chewing noises, and I have a story on that. But anyway, I can't get up off the floor easily, and I fall down a lot. I have something called CMT, or Charcot-Marie tooth disease. I also have vagus nerve fainting. I always need to know where the nearest bathroom is. I also have a mouth like a trucker. My dad was a trucker. I can get along with almost anybody, and I can't say no, even when I should.
So what is that fainting thing? Like you'll just faint out of nowhere? Is that?
No, if I'm going to throw up, I'll black out.
Interesting.
So I faint, and then I wake up, and then I'm going to throw up. You
could make like a great story with like fainting goats. That's fascinating though. I've never heard of that.
Neither had I until my son looked it up after I scared the crap out of him one day.
Very interesting. Jolene.
I'm quite impatient. I usually have road rage. I have visions, but didn't really realize until later in life that that wasn't normal, that not everybody has visions. I'm a full-on geek, but I understand that this is a compliment. I want to write a book. I really like to talk, and then I'd like to talk some more. I was adopted and believe I have a twin brother.
Very interesting. Some
Yeah.
good stories there. Ariana, what's quirky about you?
Okie dokie wokey. I am mischievous. I am competitive mostly with myself. I'm a dishwasher sorter closet. I'm a recipe adjuster. I'm a researcher. I sing soul songs for people. I'm adventurous. I'm a gadget lover. I love the wind in my face. And I love debating and I avoid confrontation.
Nice. Sherry.
I, excuse me, I love my alone time. I have a brain full of information that I tend to vomit. I research everything. I don't watch TV. I have a passion for the neurosciences. I'm intuitive. And I'm triggered by sports on TV. I am.
That's awesome. I love it. Susan.
I hate when people mispronounce my name. Stuzan. Sorry.
What's your name? How do you pronounce it?
Susan. You said Stuzan. You put a
Susan.
T in there.
I did?
Yeah.
Sorry about
That's
that.
okay. That is a real pet peeve of mine, though. That really is a
Susan.
quirky thing. I hate it when people call me anything but Susan. I very seldom wear socks. I love people watching, especially if they're telling stories. I have weird baby fingers and I love making up stories about them. I like to leave things to the last minute as I work better under pressure, as I am an adrenaline junkie. I'm an accident prone. I like to eat dinner on the couch. I love thunderstorms. I love teasing people if they are afraid of thunderstorms. When I get excited or very passionate about things, as I am very empathic, I usually shut them down. So my computer is one of them. I also can charge my phone without a power cord.
Wow. How?
It's a freaky energy thing. I'm just really in control of energy. I used to shut like whole rooms at conferences down.
Wow.
Figure out how to cope with it. Yeah.
Interesting.
Don't piss her off.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
She's going to shut us down.
As long as I'm laying on the carpet, you're good.
I try not to be too stupid. No tease. Joanne.
All right. I was trying to think of quirky things. I love crunchy things to the point I don't really eat cereal now, but if I was eating cereal, I'd have 3 small bowls so that it would stay crunchy in the milk. I love to make snow angels. I cannot pass up a beautiful place of snow to lie down, and bubbles. Like basically I'm a big kid. I'm a big kid at heart. Maybe that's the quirky part. I love to play. You know those the grocery bags, the produce bags? If I forget my cloth ones and I have plastic ones, I literally cannot throw one away without trapping some air and going bang. And the louder the better, and the more it startles my family, the better. Ron and I cannot and will not cross a bridge without kissing, which is fun. So when I will run back, we'll have to run back and kiss if we forget, like we can't walk on.
That's
Love
awesome.
lightning as well. I prefer listening to stories being read to over reading, given the choice. I'm an ideas girl. Like I literally love to sit down and brainstorm. If someone's like, oh, I can't think of something, I'm like, oh, I can. And I want to share it. I also dislike slurpee, like someone slurping their meals. Like, ugh. I love my pillow when traveling. I can't go on a trip without like a pillow to lean on or sit in a car. I can't get comfortable. And as this was going around, the last 2 were, I have to admit, I'm a closet competitor. I always pretend I'm not competitive, but I'm actually really kind of competitive. I was never sportsy, so I didn't know it, but it comes out in other ways, like games.
I'm out of the closet, Joanne.
That I'm competitive, okay? And the last kind of what people tell me that a little quirky in the sense of I tend to work within what is often kind of labeled woo-woo because I work with energy, but I'm also very mainstream because people think of nurses as mainstream, and I'm the blend. I kind of go in the middle. I like to blend woo-woo and mainstream because I really think woo-woo is science that we just haven't put enough energy behind.
I agree.
I agree.
Now look at that list.
Earth was once flat,
Right?
better.
Right? Now look at you go. And you said you thought you didn't have any quirks. Like you had the best ones. They were awesome. You got lots of them. Isn't it funny though how we don't
Wild.
Did you guys get
I want to make sure I wasn't just writing down things that I'm annoying to my family about. I have lots of those.
Did you guys get some stories out of this? Do you think you got a bunch of stories now that you can go and explore? And they're not full stories, obviously, but you have lots of ideas for amazing stories.
Yeah.
Literally. Now let me I just wanted to show you before we end because we are over and I will have to adjust the time of this workshop a little bit. We did this one. So this was an extra page I decided to add for you today. This will be my story journal that I am creating. And in this journal, what you're going to do, obviously right now you only have the 8.5 by 11 and you put it landscape, but you write the story title and then you write, how long could this story be? Like 5 to 10 minutes or 10 to 20 or, you know, how long and how short can you make it? Then the bullet points of the story is, let's say you remember, I played the guitar as a kid. Okay, what do I remember from that? Okay, my parents would drive me. I would sit outside waiting for them. I went to Ottawa. Like you write all sort of bullet points about the story. You don't write the story necessarily. And then what are the points of the story? Well, when I was a kid, I learned easier. Or, you know, guitar is such an amazing instrument. And so it's empowering, it's relaxing, and, you know, sort of learning is not always easy, but it's rewarding, you know, sort of the point of the story. Then at the bottom of the sheet, what you're going to use this for is tags. So technically you could transfer this into an e-form, but tags for your story. So it's a story about learning. It's a story about empowerment. It's a story, it's funny. It's, you know, whatever tags you want to develop. And what that does for you is you will have eventually like 70 to 100 stories, all in bullet points. And if you are asked or you need to speak or you need to use stories for whatever reason, you go through your list and you're like, okay, yeah, no, oh, that's a good one. I could use that one. I can use that one and that one. Boom, you have an hour-long talk, just like that. So it makes your being able to use your stories, turn it into a speaking opportunity very easily. And obviously there's more to sharing the stories, like doing your call to action and develop things. And I'll be hosting more workshops down the road about the hook and the call to action and the before and the after the explosion, the normal, the new normal. But for now, you should have a huge list of stories. And that, ladies, is my workshop today.
Awesome.
20 minutes over.
Thank
That's
you.
good. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I would love for you guys to, if you are able and you did get some stories, this is, it's a pivot with COVID-19. I was not a coach. Although, like I said, I did it for free and I just ran event and I was a speaker, but I would love for you guys to go write a comment, whether on my Bridget Lessardiel page or my personal feed, doesn't matter, as to, you know, how did this help you? What did you get out of this? just because you need, and you know, we as women, and that's why I'm really trying hard with Women Talk, is to support each other. And one way to do this is to ask for referral or comments or whatever when we work together, because then that's what sells, right? People like to know what other people think before they do business with you. So if you could do that for me, that'd be wonderful. The story journal template, it is in the ebook that I sent you. It's the last page. Was there any other questions? We're good? Thank you.
Great.
Sorry, I heard somebody.
I was just saying this was great. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I love it. Like, that's my favorite workshop. That's why I started with this one, because I just love hearing all the ideas that come out. And I always come out with new ideas myself. So thank you, everybody, for being here. I apologize for being over, but it was fabulous. Thank you for sharing yourselves with me. Mwah. See you soon.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Bridget.
Joanne,
Bye.
Joanne,
Yes.
can we connect?
Yes, please.
Because we have speakers who come to our meetings once a month, and
Oh, yeah.
Do
you're
you,
like
do
her
you
if you
guys
might be
need,
of interest.
do you guys need to message each other in the chat room?
Oh, we can do that? Okay, yeah.
So it'll
Yeah.
be easier to find. So I'm not going to hang up until you've done that. You can
Okay.
message each other. Anybody that would like to share their emails, actually, or their social media link, you can put it in the chat right now. Make sure it's to everyone. I should actually give you guys, I think everybody has mine, but I'll put it in there just in case. And if we all put, actually, that's something I'll do always in our, I'll do this at the beginning next time.
I just think it's so cool to briefly be with other ladies who also have a passion for stories. And it's just like, oh, I want to spend a weekend with all of you. I want to work on these stories now.
Yes. Yes. You
It's
guys are
coming.
I'm
It's
sure
coming.
it is.
Yeah, I'm actually, we're looking at doing a masterclass.
Mm.
Another speaker, a TED Talk speaker. So we'll see.
What is the difference between a master class and a regular class?
Oh,
It's a selling thing,
Name.
really. Like
That's all.
you're just really, you're like you decide that you're a master at it, but it's just another name for it. And for most people, I mean, I'm sure someone would have a very different definition.
Because there's like, I don't know, hours and hours and hours of writing potential here now. You know, you
Right?
opened up that, just like you said, barely scratched the surface, and I could pick one little thing, and there's like a dozen stories for each of those little things now.
And
Like,
may I
oh.
suggest that you need to apply to share your story at our online event, Women Talk Online
Which
event.
one though? Now I have so many.
I told you you were going to come out of here with so many stories. It's amazing. This exercise works so well. So make sure you have everybody's email address that people have shared, or their social media link. If you want, I can actually, I'll save the comment and I can email it to you guys if you need me to, or is everybody good?
That would be nice if you could do that, please.
Okay. I will, the comments saves automatically, and then I will copy and paste and send you guys an email.
I'm
with,
just adding one more thing. I'm just going to put my cell number because the best way to reach me is to text me, or the
Okay.
fastest.
I thought you were going to put your credit card number or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, mine. I went to get gas this morning and my credit card didn't work, and I know there's lots of space on it. So
there.
I don't know what happened.
Linda, I just gave you my cell number as well.
Okay, thanks.
Nice. All right, ladies, thank you for being here. I love what I do, and I love having all these new people part of it. It excites me.
That's excellent.
Thank
Thank you.
you very much.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.